live and alert on the north side of the dirt. Here I be. It's just little old me. Gee. Bars. Okay. It is Thursday. It is Thursday evening. I'm here. The Rock With Me Nation is pulling up. And in a little bit, we are going to do Thursday Live. It's like, why did you put all that emphasis on it, D? Because I needed to. Don't ask me why. I needed to. Just getting some more stuff. Yeah, y'all. I got some fun stuff to share. Couple things. Couple of things. Oh, no wonder I couldn't see it. All righty. Yeah, we getting ready to do this, y'all. Okay. Okay. Had to do a little imaging. Had to grab a couple images, for the benefit of the conversation. Y'all pulling up as y'all pull up. I like to see y'all pull up as y'all pull up. I'm going to say hi in a minute because I'm almost done with what I need to be doing. Just need a couple more images. That's images. To throw up here and give y'all a visual, because I'm finding visuals help drive a point home, whether they're images you are for or images you are against. It will still help drive that point, that imagery all the way home. How y'all been, Rock With Me Nation? How life been treating y'all? I know this image is acting stupid, and I'm getting ready to punch it. Better act like it freaking knows. And if it don't, wow, I only been here 3 minutes. That's crazy. Okay, let me try it over here. Hateful ass images. Okay. Oh, you'll pull up on that side, but you won't pull up on this side. Oh, hateful mofos. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get to this in a second, because we getting ready to have some discussions, y'all. We getting ready to have some discussions, and I am hoping everybody's ready to discuss some of this stuff that I'm ready to discuss. Okay, let me see who's in here. All right, of course, the ever reliable Grand Madam Tarot is in the building. Hello, Grand Madam. How you doing? Nancy is in the building. Welcome, Nancy. Mr. Counterpoint himself, Paul Martin. But I say that in a respectful way, Mr. Martin, because iron sharpens iron. Sometimes we need that clap back. Sometimes we need that. President of the Black Panther fan group, Kamayo King. And hello to you too. And oh my goodness, who else? Couple other assorteds. I'm gonna give y'all a few more minutes. If you looked at my little, you know what? This is a good time to break down some stuff. At the risk of sounding like I'm not breaking down some stuff. Does that make sense? I don't know, but I'm put it out here for you, regardless, just so y'all can see. Now, when I announce a show, advertise a show, I guess you could call it advertising. Is it? Could you call it advertising? I guess you could call it advertising. I'll throw up one of these. All right, that is sort of my non-normal kind of way of non-normal. I could just said abnormal. Anyway, of advertising, so you have to actually look at the poster. And if you look at the poster, you'll see it tells you what kind of topics we're going to be discussing. If you look at this, it shows a couple different topics. Sometimes I might have 7 topics on there. Right now I have 6, but generally I always talk about at least 7 topics a night. So you're getting 7. And usually like I said, I advertise them so you can see what I'm going to be talking about. Also, I talk about things that may not necessarily be on said poster. So it is always a safe bet to just tune in. So that way you don't miss none of the edutainment. You don't miss none of the controversy. You don't miss anything. And I don't know why I said controversy, because it isn't always going to be controversial. It might be pretty cut and dry. Like, for instance, I saw, we'll talk about it later, but I saw this image right here on I think it was X. This could potentially be the cinematic Trinity. For those of you that don't know, that is on the left, that is Alexandra Daddario. Alexandra Daddario has already played a Greek goddess, sort of demigoddess. She was the daughter of Athena in the Percy Jackson movie series. So she has a little experience wielding a sword, and she does have really deep blue eyes, and she is fairly statuesque. And if she's not, she can certainly be made to look that way. Of course, you got David Cornsweet, who's going to be playing Superman in July. And we got Jensen Ackles from Supernatural fame. He has already done the voice of Batman in animated versions. So, and he's already been a superhero before. He's played Soldier Boy in The Boys. So superheroine isn't anything new to him. That would actually be a decent Trinity. I wouldn't have that particular gear for Wonder Woman, but they would make a pretty good Trinity. I mean, because I feel like the only other movie out there that is going to even be able to contend with Superman would be Fantastic Four. And I don't even think that's going to be able to contend with it, because it's Superman. Right? What y'all think, Rock With Me Nation? A blonde Bruce Wayne. Well, hate to bring it up, but Val Kilmer. And before you go counterpoint crazy, this is just a mock-up. Okay? This is fan made. All right? So this isn't set in stone. And I'm pretty sure that if Jensen Ackles was going to play Bruce Wayne, if he does play Bruce Wayne, I'm pretty sure he will get prepped for the part, as it were. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to give us a Val Kilmer Bruce Wayne. But those three, I think, make a decent trinity. I mean, are we going to mince about something petty like hair? You know what I mean? Unless they actually are dumb enough to keep his hair blonde, I don't think that's a major arguing point, Mr. Martin. Try again. FF is gonna bomb. Yeah. FF is going to do what every other Marvel movie has done this year. The first week or two, stellar numbers, and then it's going to plummet. Now, here's the question I always ask. Is that shit going to plummet because we said it's going to plummet, or is it going to plummet because that's what it is? A lot of the time, we always have these folks talking about, well, if you didn't say bad things about the movie, it wouldn't perform poorly. Lies. You sit on a throne of lies. That if a movie's going to perform poorly, as much as folks like to call me the prophet, I don't think I did anything magical or mystical to make that movie underperform. Some people like to argue I have an agenda. And it is an agenda of disinformation. I can't. I gotta keep saying that. I'm gonna shout that to the top of the mountaintops. I don't care. I'll die on that hill. Disinformation agenda. Me. I got an agenda. You motherfuckers out here tripping. Agenda. Oh, and I got according to one person, I got I got burner accounts. I harass people on burner accounts. You know what? Well, it is Thursday, so I can do that. This ain't Vibe Day, so I can do that. I'm on burner accounts harassing people. Really? Well, let me say officially, since this is live and it's being recorded, never used the burner account. I have them, but I've never used them. And then on top of that, I don't use burner accounts to spy on people. I use my burner account if something happened to my main account and I ain't out of action. That's all that is. Ain't that what most people use burner accounts for? Or ain't that what burner accounts are supposed to be used for? Right? Anyway, that Trinity. I like that Trinity. Mario said he liked that Trinity too. Yeah. So as far as burner accounts, I don't think they was talking about me. I think they was talking about somebody else that they thought was me. And I have to say, if it's the person they talking about, that person has burner accounts too, but they don't use them to spy on people who think they're being spied on. I know what that's like. All I can say, y'all, is paranoia will destroy you. Let's get on to something fun, because I'm not in the mood for nothing sad and divisive, even though something sad and divisive may inadvertently pop up. But I'm not going to worry about it. Not right now. I am going to wow y'all with The Panther Patrol. Now I've been playing this up. So I am going to have to rock with it, y'all. I'm going to have to. I did a video about a quintet of T'Challas, multiversal. You got Cold Tiger. You got the most dangerous man alive. You got the Star Panther. You got 6160 T'Challa, and you got 2301 T'Challa. That is where Panther / Falcon T'Challa. Now, I have let people know I am going to be creating a Panther Patrol out of action figures. Probably the two most difficult to pull off, ironically, will be Star Panther and Cold Tiger. Not so much because it's hard to find a figure to make into them, but I think the amount of detail that's going to have to go into a Star Panther and a Cold Tiger, because my man got stripes. My man got stripes on his shoes. Not vertical stripes, horizontal stripes. So guess what? Most likely the Cold Panther is just going to be wearing yellow boots without stripes in my universe. But we're going to try to work on everything else. Him and Star Panther, like I said, are probably going to be the most difficult ones. 6160 and most dangerous man alive. That's just a matter of kit bashing and accessorizing. So 2-3 weeks should have the whole Panther Patrol. But this is where we're gonna get started. Oh, and also for those of you who weren't paying attention, the Panther Patrol will most likely, well, more frequently, will be squaring up against the multiversal Master of Evil. So I will probably have to be making a multiversal Masters of Evil as well. I think I would just get me another destroyer and paint it red. That will probably be pretty easy to do. But this right here, here, let me take this down. This right here is going to be my 2301 T'Challa. What I plan to do with it, this is movable. So probably all I will need to do is paint the tunic. I have a what do you call them? The Egyptian, the gold what is it? It's a collar. Yeah, kind of like this, but it's I've got one of those, and I'm just gonna put that on there. Gold and black. Bands, armbands, van braces, gold and black, and gold and black greaves. Boom. That's it. That's it. I mean, he's got hair, but other than that, should be able to knock this out the park pretty easy. So that will be the first member of the Panther Patrol in action figure form. Y'all stay tuned for me rocking out the other four. How y'all feeling about the Panther Patrol? I know some people were excited about it. Others, they like, I ain't even know. Oh, looky there. Theo in the building. Theo in the building. What's up, Theo? I'm glad you're here because we're gonna be talking about one of your topics, sir. See, you done talk that Anthony Mackie and Wesley Snipes so much. Now I'm involved. Okay. Man, hurry up with that pen. Damn. I mean, I just announced it. Hurry up. I'm sorry. No painstakingly done painting like Theo does. Come on, yo. Come on, yo. Behave yourself, sir. Thank you. I'm glad you like that figure. This is from the Warriors of the Animal Kingdom line. They got like were panthers and were tigers and were hyenas and of course, you know, Planet of the Ape looking apes and stuff. So that's another line of action figures that can be tapped. That's another line. They are pretty solid figures. So I've got about three of them, including this one, and then I've got other Werepanthers. I got Werepanthers from the Mythic Legions line as well. I don't know. This is the one I'm going with for now. And Theo laughing at me. Okay, or maybe with me. Say Theo had TikTok in flames over Mackie. Yeah, I know. Okay, anxiously waiting for the Panther. Okay, anxious, and hurry up. All right, y'all, say less. All right, say less. You say you ain't got nothing. Yeah, but you got just as much. Didn't you just do a bunch of G.I. Joes today? Stop it. Like people always tell me, you are enough. You are enough. You are enough, Mr. Butler. Yeah, I saw her out there with her battle angel AI. With a look on her face like, nigga, I'm finna kill you. You ain't getting out of it. Oh my goodness gracious. Rock with me nation pulling up. Thank y'all. Okay. What do I want to do first? Okay. Here we go. Y'all know it would not be me if we didn't have some comparisons. And there are going to be a couple of comparisons on this here show tonight. And I want everybody to stay, you know what I'm saying? Keep your eyes peeled, your ears peeled, because you're about to mess around and learn some things. Or not necessarily learn, but get things put to you in a different perspective. There we go. Let's do it like that. The other day, I was looking at some folks talking about Brother James Rhodes. Now, here's the thing with Brother James Rhodes. Is the person that you are portraying cinematically, are you supposed to resemble him? Or not? Because see, here's my thing. You know what Don Cheadle looks like. You know what Terrence Howard looks like. That's a lot of James Rhodes, rock with me, nation. Now, did Terrence Howard get booted out of that role because he was high yelling? Because he was a hammer? I mean, it certainly couldn't have been an issue of acting. Both Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle are phenomenal actors. But do they look like James Rhodes? I mean, I get the flat top. I get it. Ain't nobody rocking no flat top in 2000. Well, maybe people might rock flat tops. But that picture in there with Tony Stark with the perm, man. James Rhodes need a lineup, bro. James, homie, you need to go steal on your barber, cause that line is fucked. And Tony Stark got a perm. That's all I could say about that. That Tony Stark got a perm. Oh, Bob Layton did a phenomenal run on Iron Man, but he gave Tony Stark a perm. Anyways, which one of those most looks like James Rhodes? Because if I'm being honest and I'm looking at these images, neither one of them. So were we just checking off a box when we said we needed James Rhodes and Iron Man, and we're going to get this little undersized dark brother to play James Rhodes? I'm concerned. Because if we can just take anybody who is of the same race and throw them in that role, I don't think that's a wise course of action. And does Don Cheadle behave like James Rhodes does in the comics? James Rhodes is not a comic relief for Tony Stark. So why don't we portraying him like that? Like a second fiddle, like an also ran. You know what I'm saying? I feel like him taking Tony's armor was played the wrong way, if that makes sense. I mean, because we busy talking about, oh, the little man kicked your ass and took your suit. But there was more to it than that. We turned, I ain't going to say we, Marvel turned an ongoing problem with Tony Stark into a temporary thing. You encapsulated the demon in a bottle storyline in one scene. In one scene. In one scene, y'all. Probably one of the most prolific storylines next to Armor Wars and probably a couple others. That demon in a bottle storyline defines Tony Stark in more ways than one, and it just got melted down into a scene at a party he was throwing at his house. Word? That's what we thought about demon in a bottle? But this who we want to rock with. This who gonna bring all of our comic dreams to fruition. Like that? Talk to me, rock with me, nation. What we talking about right here? What we talking about right here? Tony had that Soul Glow perm. Yes, he did. I thought Tony had a Jerry curl. I'm like, damn, Tom, really? I agree. Neither one of them looked like James Rhodes. So we were just checking off a black box. Well, Marvel Studios was checking off a black box. Howard said it was the money as far as leaving. They promised him one amount and then tried not to give it to him. That's a good reason. That's a good reason to chuck up the deuces. Neither one looks like James Rhodes. But yet and still, that's what they gave us. And that's what they're going to continue to give us if we settle. Don't Gray always say that? You get the representation that you settle for, and Muggs be settling for representation in effing droves. Oh, y'all need to just leave him alone. Y'all need to just let him cook. They burning that shit. They don't need to cook no more. Okay? They set off the fire alarms and all that shit. They don't need to be cooking nothing at all. One too light, the other too frail. It makes you ask were they committed to the role like Natalie Portman. Bruh, I don't think Don Cheadle could have got buff enough. Don Cheadle like 5'5", 5'6". He'd have just looked like a little bowling ball if he got gunned up. You know what I'm saying? So David Ramsey would be a better James Rhodes. He's still kind of team light skinned, but he a better choice. He a better choice than what they chose by far. I mean, height wise and all of that, much better choice. He say, happy to be here, ass Negroes. Yes, happy to be here as Negroes. Speaking of happy to be here as Negroes, we was happy to be here when Black Panther came out. By the time the sequel came out, everybody who liked Black Panther for the most part didn't like Wakanda Forever. They killed off the titular character. Now, I don't want to go traipsing through that snow again. Suffice to say, what is it right now? What I found out is that way too many of us are prone to cry racism while being ignorant to the source. They crying racism right now on Facebook. Okay. I agree. Maybe back in 2010, 2011, around that time frame, Blair Underwood probably would have made a good James Rhodes. I think he would have. That is an excellent choice, Mr. Martin. That's an excellent choice. Or someone Blair Underwoodish. But what I was getting at before is nobody trips, for the most part, on what's going on with T'Challa, because it ain't happening to your character. It ain't happening to your favorite character. That's why nobody give a shit but us. Because we, by and large, are the fans of T'Challa. We, by and large, are the fans of T'Challa. But now the narrative has become, ain't nobody checking for T'Challa. Now, my question is, what happens when they do it to your character? What happens when they do it to your character? I saw somebody on I think it was Facebook today, because the trailer came out and everybody's going all goo-goo and gaga over this Fantastic Four trailer. But I took the time to say, because they were like, oh, I've been waiting all my life. Ooh, where'd you hear that? Oh, I've been waiting all my life to see the Fantastic Four in live action. Where was you at? Suspended animation. Been 3 live action Fantastic Four movies. 4 if you count the one they never released in 94. But maybe what he was talking about was like a real wink, wink live action movie. Some, in other words, some shit that's good. But this is what they're giving you for the Fantastic Four. Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, The Crown, and whatever the dude doing his voice was in. Because his voice, Ben Grimm sound like My Little Pony when he talk. You know what I'm saying? Ben Grimm is a rock man. He's supposed to have a gravelly ass rock voice. Or at least give us that, really thick, Brooklyn, straight up out the Bowery type sounding cat. He's Yancey Street. He used to be a Yancey Street gangster. I mean, I know he went to the Air Force and became a pilot and all that, but he's still Yancey Street. You know what I'm saying? I done been different places. I done went to the military. I done traveled around the world, but I'm still faux Trey all day from Kansas City. Okay? I just am. It ain't never gonna come out of me. I can code switch, but you hit me on the right day, you gonna get you gonna get that quad Trey. But I'm gonna leave it right there because some people like, yeah. Anyway, now I tell them, say Reed don't look like Reed. No, Reed does not look like Reed. It looked like they're trying to pull some of that more on us. He just toned down the accent and ta-da! So there you go. Yeah. Sue Storm gotta be. See, I'm gonna end up saying something bad about that woman. And I don't want to do that, but okay. She's not an attractive woman, in my opinion. That's just me. Some people are like, oh, she's so beautiful. Well, maybe I ain't got a thing for flaxen haired, blue eyed chicks. Sue me. Johnny Storm, it's just like Kamoyo said, that whole cast is ugly. That whole cast is ugly, bro. She, woo. Oh, we want to talk about that? Okay. There was a lot of that going on too. That's your Silver Surfer, homie. Shallaball. Now, there were big old huge arguments all over social media about this. Now, if the Silver Surfer has been depicted a grand total of 2 times in comics as a woman, does that make the other 9,999 appearances of the Silver Surfer as a man null and void? It's not about a chauvinist thing. It's not about whatever y'all gonna say about a woman and a man thing. It's about, damn it, the Silver Surfer is Norrin Rad. The Silver Surfer has always been Norrin Rad. The primary Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer mugs want to see. The Silver Surfer that's gonna make that movie go kapow is Norrin Rad. I don't give a damn how nice you make Shalabal look on a surfboard. I don't care how nice you make Shalabal look when you got all of the CGI together, because I understand it ain't all together yet. And she nice and crispy and shiny and shit, but that's not the Silver Surfer. That's not my Silver Surfer. That's not a Silver Surfer. Okay? So all day, y'all, and then y'all bringing Galactus into it, first movie, off top. Now you're doing the fucking opposite of what you did with Thanos. You're going to build up to Thanos. You're going to build up to Thanos. You're going to build up to Thanos. And then all of a sudden, boom, you got Thanos. There's build up to Thanos. Ah, Galactus. Take it. Take it, take it, take it. Deal with it. We're giving you Galactus. You don't like it? Don't go see the movie. Now, I really do hope Marvel restarts their universe after all of this Doomsday Secret War bullshit, because it's become, I have the perfect way to explain it. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has become what DC was pre-crisis. Now, folks that read comic books know what I'm talking about. DC got so fucking convoluted. You had 3 Supermen, 4 Batman, 5 Wonder Woman on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Earth. Ain't nobody trying to keep up with all of that shit. Moviegoers can only digest so much to where it'll make sense to them still. I'm not calling them gullible. I'm not calling them ignorant. I'm calling them uninformed. Because there's a lot of things about that character, about that team, about that universe that you know nothing about. And if you did know it, you would probably appreciate that character a little more. You would appreciate the origins of that character a little bit more. One thing I do like about this Fantastic Four movie, they ain't finna beat us across the head with they origin story. I feel like characters like that don't need the movie to revolve around an entire origin. Superman, you don't need to tell Superman's origin ever again. Everybody knows Superman origin. Superman origin is written in stone. You don't need to tell everybody the story of Kal-El. Batman's story is written in stone. You do not need to tell everybody Batman's story. Spider-Man, same shit. We do not need to see Spider-Man's origin story ever again. I think everybody and their mama knows Spider-Man's origin story. So, that being said, Fantastic Four folks ain't gonna be feeling that. All right, I'm the prophet. Fuck it, let's have some fun. Superman is going to blow Fantastic Four out of the fucking water. Okay, and Superman gonna have a 3-week head start. So Fantastic Four, you got a chance to outdo Superman. Superman coming out the 11th. Fantastic Four don't come out till what, the 26th? You're set up. It shouldn't be nothing for that movie to do but knock it down. But they're not. Who knows Galactus's origin? All he do is eat planets. Do we know that his name was once Galan and he comes from a universe that was destroyed when this one was first being formed? That'd be an interesting piece of information to add in that movie. Are we going to get unstable molecules? And are unstable molecules going to become as common as vibranium? These are questions people who read comic books might want to know. Is Natasha Lyonne playing Alicia Masters? And John Malkovich playing her father, the puppet master? Masters. And his name, Philip Masters, the puppet master. A lot of thought went into that one, Stan. Don't know yet. We don't know who Natasha Lyonne's playing. Natasha Lyonne might be the voice of Herbie. That's a rumor too. I like Natasha Lyonne. She's a gravelly voiced actress with and she's got that kind of that New York that New York attitude. That probably wouldn't work too much for Alicia because she's supposed to be anyway. You know what? ID GAF. Let's see. Kamoyo said he think all of these trash characters are biting it. I certainly hope so. Galactus will be as bad as MODOK. That's bad writing, Mr. Martin. Why care about a universe coming to an end? That was the same thing that said about the DCU when James Gunn announced a reboot. Remember what Coogler said to E-Man? He can only use the characters left after Secret Wars. That's gonna make it worse. So you're gonna murder off characters people like and leave them with some shitty ones. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say this. Wait for it. I think some of us have the proper iteration of all, if not most, of all the characters in this movie at the house. Every last one of them. Except Herbie. I don't have a Herbie. And I don't think that there is a Puppet Master action figure because the Puppet Master doesn't do anything actiony. Oh, goodness. At the House Customs, that's us. Because it's at the house. Already. They are just taking the Kang Dynasty script for Doomsday and Secret Wars. Everyone dies in the Kang Dynasty script. Then let them die. You know what, Theo? You're right. I could. But the question is, do I want to? I don't FUX with Fantastic Four like that. Not to where I'm trying to put together. If I wanted a Fantastic Four villain to add to my collection, Annihilus. He's a way more interesting character, and he's got wings. The Frightful Four. We need a Pace Pop Pete. We need a Trapster. We got Sandman, but do we have Sandman in his uniform that he wore with the Frightful Four? I think not. And of course, the wingless wizard. I was going to make a wizard at one point. I think I still might. They are dropping an Annihilus this year. Yes. I am very well aware of the Annihilus. Yeah. Things with wings, they stay on the radar, player. Things with wings stay on the radar. Trapster. Yeah, that would be Peter Petruski. That would be a welcome addition. You need a Trapster. How you gonna have a Frightful Four? You already got Medusa. You already got Sandman. You might as well get a good wizard and a good Trapster. You know who I'd like to see as an action figure, and I could probably make it happen, but it would take a long ass time. Captain Ultra. Y'all remember Captain Ultra? He got a nice little story arc, in that Avengers Initiative, and yeah, they really utilized the heck out of Captain Ultra. But I remember when Captain Ultra first came around, I think it was Fantastic Four number 177. The Frightful Four had beaten the Fantastic Four and had the unmitigated beach ball sized nuts to hold auditions for a fourth Frightful Four member in the Baxter Building. How many people remember that? That was a George Perez story, by the way. George Perez with, I think, if I'm not mistaken, John Byrne doing the story. You know what? I can look. Because I know one or both of them are involved. La 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 la. Okay. There it is. Fantastic Four number 177. Comicology. Oh, Roy Thomas. Okay. Roy Thomas with art by George Perez. George Perez was busy like a mug in like the late 70s, early 80s. He was doing all kind of books at Marvel and DC. Go, boy, go. Annihilus has the best villain army name, the Annihilation Wave. Yeah, that is a pretty dope ass name. I cannot hate, sir. I cannot hate. All right, rock with me, nation. We rocking on. Let's rock on, rock on, rock on. All right, let me talk to y'all about this real quick. People keep talking about this. Okay. And we keep giving these scenarios. T'Challa versus Daredevil. Daredevil versus T'Challa. Matt versus T'Challa. T'Challa versus Daredevil. Daredevil versus the Black Panther. Bottom line, they're good buds. They're pals and friends. But either something fundamentally against one or the other's nature or moral code causes these two to come into conflict with one another. Case in point, there was a comic book where Matt and T'Challa fought because T'Challa had a cousin who was married to a dude who was in the Wakandan some kind of armored force. He had a suit of armor and everything. And he wasn't doing nothing. He was just basically being a deadbeat. And T'Challa was like, you should do the honorable thing. You know, leave my cousin alone or go kill yourself or some shit like that. And he was trying to kill himself. And Daredevil was trying to stop him. And Black Panther was trying to stop Daredevil from stopping him from killing himself. Okay. Are we asking questions about who's the better fighter or who's got more going for him than the other? Okay. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. These people love Matt Murdock. They love Daredevil. There are some people who say Daredevil is a better fighter than Iron Fist. There are some people that say Daredevil is probably like the number 3 or 2 hand-to-hand combatant in all the Marvel Universe. You know what I say to that? These people love Daredevil. So much so that writers, Warren Ellis, Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, they write him to be more than what he actually is. Daredevil does not possess a physical superhuman ability. All of Daredevil's superhuman abilities are sensory based. But he's so good at fighting that he's beating up peak humans. He's beating up superhumans. I read a comic book where Daredevil beat the Cobra and Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde? Mr. Hyde, who was part of the group that beat Hercules senseless? Excuse me. Into a coma. Mr. Hyde was part of a group that beat a god into a coma. But regular old Matt Murdock with his radar sense is outsmarting and beating him and the Cobra. Some writers like characters. Some writers love characters. Some writers are unnaturally obsessed with certain characters. And there ain't nothing wrong with that as long as you keep it in perspective. Daredevil ain't beating up Thor. I don't give a damn where you at or what you doing. Daredevil's not finna beat up Thor. No way. No fucking how. Daredevil took on Hydra by himself with dreadnoughts, artillery, soldiers, superhuman operatives. Daredevil took on all this. All within the confines of his comic book. People like Daredevil. People think Daredevil is the shiznit. Now, I have sung about Daredevil's praises. Hooray, go Matt. But now, if we stack them up next to each other, stat for stat for stat, you telling me little old Hell's Kitchen Devil is getting ready to beat the dog shit out of T'Challa? T'Challa, who broke, well, you know what? I don't want to start an honor thread about T'Challa because then I sound like I'm on his nuts. But you know what? I'm going to let y'all do it. Y'all put the stats together. Y'all do an honor thread and show me why T'Challa is a better character than Daredevil. And without sounding like one of them writers that be on their sack all the time, jeffing them up, making them sound like, oh, they the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, y'all in here, huh? Okay. All right. Okay. Come on, you'll say, poor Matt. Pre-priest, weren't they more evenly matched? Even pre-priest, Matt Murdock was not a physical match for T'Challa. But yet and still, in the confines of his own comic book, we watching him kick T'Challa all up and down a pier. Really? Marvel. Excuse me here a second. That right there. Marvel Knights. See what I'm saying? See how they make him out to be like king shit? You know what I mean? It's just like, bruh, come on. Even just that image. Oh, he's getting ready to handle T'Challa. Get off his sack is what I say to people all the time. All the time. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that Daredevil is a better superhero or a better written character. Why does Daredevil continue to have a monthly book, but T'Challa don't? Is Matt Murdock a more interesting character than T'Challa? Is Matt Murdock a more complex character than T'Challa? Are the problems Matt Murdock have far more interesting than the ones T'Challa has? Methinks not. What y'all talking about over here? Mr. Martin, T'Challa usually holds back when fighting other heroes. Ask Moon Knight. Well, to not take anything away from him, Mr. Martin ain't been in Marvel Comics the way he's been in DC Comics. And so a lot of this stuff that's come to pass and is now accepted as common and fact, he may not be aware of. Great, what's up? He said bullshit. Okay. Dave wrote Matt admit he can't beat Wolverine. Has T'Challa ever been written like that versus Logan? No. Matter of fact, he's whooping Logan's ass effortlessly, which we could argue might be plot armor in and of itself. But you know what? T'Challa didn't do it in the confines of his book. T'Challa whoop Wolverine's ass in an X-Men title. I remember a comic book where T'Challa and Wolverine fought during Contest of Champions. And neither of them was really able to get like a super duper advantage. And just like Kamoyo was saying, T'Challa holds back when he's fighting heroes. I'm not trying to kill you. I'm not trying to go all out on you. You might have adamantium claws, but bro, I got anti-metal claws. My claws can tear your claws apart if I really want to. You know what I'm saying? When Daredevil fought U.S. Agent, I had to laugh. Again, we know Daredevil has had conflicts with Captain America. And he ain't got the better of Captain America. Matter of fact, one comic back in the day, he ended up fighting Captain America, and before Captain America could really open a can, he ran off. And let's not forget Daredevil getting the dog shit beat out of him by Captain America hopped up on drugs. Streets of Poison. If you ain't ever read Streets of Poison, read that. Captain America on crack is hilarious and scary. It wasn't crack, but it was a meth like drug, and Cap ended up inhaling a bunch of it, and because it mixed with the super soldier serum, it was like, oh, I'm gonna be high all week. And he just lost his mind. Literally. Plot armor. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that too in a little bit. Matt is my second favorite palm-colored Marvel hero after Marvel. So that's why you up in this piece lobbying hard. Say Matt getting folded like a Gap t-shirt. T'Challa has punked Khonshu in a super-powered Moon Knight after Moon Knight had defeated Thor and Iron Fist. Daredevil is not beating T'Challa in a fight. Jason Aaron. Now, I will say this about Jason Aaron. Jason Aaron loves some T'Challa. Jason Aaron show love to T'Challa. That Phoenix War storyline, see Wakanda and die, it's safe to say Jason Aaron likes T'Challa. But we always bring back that AVX shit, don't we? Just you can have 100 attaboys, but one old shit will fuck all of those attaboys up. That's what they used to say in the military. You know what I'm saying? One old shit can mess up 1,000 attaboys. So a depowered T'Challa ran rings around Matt in feats while in Hell's Kitchen. Again, T'Challa does hold back a lot when fighting other heroes. He could finish Matt whenever he feels like it. Didn't T'Challa run a fade on Daredevil, Elektra, and the Punisher in a Marvel Knights comic before? That is one way of looking at it. He's saying hi. Logan just has durability. He ain't touching T'Challa if T'Challa doesn't want to be touched. Frank Miller at least had Daredevil in the hospital after fighting Hulk. You taking up for Frank Miller. Okay. He said, Steve, a whole problem out here. He beat up Kevin Hart's dad. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love you guys. You guys are hilarious. Oh, what I was going to talk about earlier. Okay. Let me pull it up here so we can talk about it at length. Okay. Now this is just something I think we need to be made aware of. Okay. Now we love Batman. We love our Batman, right? Right? We love us some Batman. And Batman is often regarded as that character. He's got more stories going on about him as far as the masked vigilante. Does that make sense? Which Marvel character is more like Batman? Tony Stark or Matt Murdock? Now, when we think about Tony Stark's got the tech. Tony Stark's got the gadgets. Tony Stark's got the weapons. Tony Stark ain't got the hands, though. But then when we think about Matt got the hands. Matt is the gritty rooftop guy. That's the guy that's going to jump down into a crowd about 10, 11, 12 people and beat them senseless. So, which one of them superheroes, in your opinion, is more like Batman? Tony Stark or Matt Murdock? Matt Murdock's tough, but he can be put down. Iron Man's a whole problem when he brings tech to bear, but tech can be circumvented in some cases and overcome in others. So what are we talking about here? Let me see. Let me see, because the Rock With Me Nation is active tonight. One thing I give MCU credit for is that they showed some badass T'Challa suits with not wearing the habit. Oh. T'Challa feats. Yeah. Okay. I like this. Kamayo said Batman is cool, I suppose. Matt seems more Nightwing. Tony is more like Bruce. Nightwing is not apt to beat a thug senseless. Nightwing knock you out. Nightwing take you out. but Nightwing ain't just pounding on motherfuckers for information. You know what I mean? He's not hanging mugs off of ledges talking about swear to me. He's not. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I gotta respectfully disagree. Richard Grayson is. I like Richard Grayson more than I like Matt Murdock. That just me. Simply because of Richard's journey. They both face tragedy. It seems like tragedy is something all heroes got to face or deal with because it's always, for some strange reason, part of their origin story. But I feel like Richard came out of it better because he's not this grumpy, gravelly, grouchy, razzed out as character versus his mentor. He was able to absorb the lessons of his mentor, not his mentor's attitude. Both are singularly focused at times detrimental levels. Tony and Bruce are both obsessive compulsive. Dick and Matt are always trying to redeem the irredeemable. But Richard doesn't go off the deep end with it. You know what I mean? We ain't reading about Richard going on some crazy crusade and joining up with Cobra and fighting heroes. And I mean, I'm sure that could be a storyline, granted, but I don't know. Nightwing's just more of a likable character to me. I've always liked Nightwing. Nightwing is the Robin's Robin. You know what I'm saying? He's the Robin all Robins should look up to. He's the Robin all Robins should pattern themselves after. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think Moon Knight as a comparison would be too easy. That's why I didn't use Moon Knight, because it's obvious. Moon Knight, for all intents and purposes, is that Batman clone that people are always talking about when we going back and forth about Marvel and DC. You can't weasel your way out of that one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can say whatever the hell y'all want to say. Moon Knight is a damn Batman clone. Period. Just like Deadpool is a damn Deathstroke clone. Spit straight out. Y'all are too damn similar. Wade Wilson, Slade Wilson, way too similar. Dark Knight, Moon Knight. I got a pilot named Frenchie who acts like my man Friday, like Alfred does with Batman. Bruh, Moon Knight is Batman. I know Moon Knight fans don't like that. I'm lucky Flash by Night ain't in here because we be having an argument, I'd imagine. But prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Nightwing is the white dude you cool with. Matt is the white guy you give 50 feet at all times. That sounds about right. Because, yeah, Matt be having some days. And then on top of that, he's a solicitor. I don't want Matt Murdock as my lawyer. If I'm being honest, I would rather have Jennifer. That's just me. You know, at least I know Jennifer ain't gonna get me shot. Jennifer ain't gonna have thugs following me at night. And if she do, she gonna kick them. Or something to that effect. That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. So y'all, I was putting it off. I wasn't gonna discuss it at first, but my man Theo B, he kept hitting it with a hammer. Bam, bam. So we're gonna talk about it. It might be a long discussion. It might be a brief discussion. But one thing for sure, it's going to be a long discussion. Y'all feel me? Check it out. Mackie versus Snipes. Okay. This is really, for me, okay, maybe I'm tripping, maybe, but this is a really simple thing for me. I mean, I understand where my brother Theo was going with it, but we talk about Wesley Snipes. Yeah, tax evading Wesley Snipes. Now, the question that my brother is constantly presenting across social media is, could Anthony Mackie play Nino Brown? The short answer? Yeah. If the studios, his manager, and any number of people arrange it, yes. Anthony Mackie could 100% play Nino Brown in a New Jack City series on Netflix. Now, is the question, can Anthony Mackie play Nino Brown? Or is the question, can Anthony Mackie play Nino Brown better than Wesley Snipes? Now, there have been times when characters have come in and played a role, and not only played it well, but made you kind of think the actor who played that role originally wasn't as good at playing it. What you talking about, D? What I'm talking about. Oh, the easiest example would be a James Bond. When we talk about James Bond, there are some people that when we talk about James Bond, for their money, there is no other James Bond besides Sean Connery. And then there's a generational thing. Some people weren't even alive when Sean Connery was James Bond, so they can't appreciate Sean Connery as James Bond. A lot of us grew up watching Roger Moore as James Bond. And then there was Timothy Dalton. And then you had Pierce Brosnan, who a lot of people were like, I like him as James Bond. Because when he was on Remington Steele and he was British and was kicking that accent, we thought, shit, he could be James Bond. they eventually made him James Bond. Now, do I think Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, or Pierce Brosnan played James Bond better than Sean Connery? No, I don't. Because Sean Connery brought something to the role of James Bond that every James Bond has. Every James Bond has that swag. Every James Bond is flippant, is arrogant. Daniel Craig wasn't an arrogant James Bond. Now, if you've ever read a James Bond novel, Daniel Craig looks more like what Ian Fleming described James Bond to look like than those other guys. Surprise! Woo! James Bond is not a brunette, at least not in the novels. So, who does it better? Nobody does it better. That's a Roger Moore James Bond movie. Anyway, back to Mackie and Snipes. Where I'm at with it, name me an Anthony Mackie movie that was better than a Wesley Snipes movie. Any Anthony Mackie movie that was better than a Wesley Snipes movie. Because if we break it down and we start calling out movies, blah, 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 whoop, 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 this, that, and the third, I'm going to have way more better Wesley Snipes movies than Anthony Mackie movies. We could contribute that to the length of their careers. But shit, Anthony Mackie been getting work. It ain't like Anthony Mackie been sitting in a corner somewhere starving. Anthony Mackie been working everywhere. Got what, Netflix, the MCU. Everybody giving Anthony Mackie work. So it's not like Anthony Mackie is somebody who's just sitting in a corner getting ignored. He makes movies. He makes lots of movies. Me, it ain't got nothing to do with the fact of how he plays Sam Wilson. It ain't got nothing to do with the fact that sometimes he comes off soft like drugstore cotton. It ain't got nothing to do with the fact of that episode on Black Mirror where he bust slides with Yahya Abdul-Mateen. When I look at Anthony Mackie and I look at Wesley Snipes, I think to myself, that's a different echelon of actor. Wesley Snipes has been in movies with greats. I mean, maybe Anthony Mackie has too, thanks to the MCU, but just in general, who Wesley Snipes been in movies with? And it wasn't an ensemble cast. Wesley Snipes been in movies with Denzel Washington. Wesley Snipes been in movies with a lot of notable actors and actresses. Notable actors and actresses. That's like I was saying earlier, but Mr. Martin, iron sharpen iron. If I'm already a pretty sharp piece of iron and I'm working with sharp iron too, ain't that going to make me sharper? Or at least it's supposed to. I don't think there should be any argument about Mackie and Snipes and the roles they play because Anthony Mackie is not as good an actor, in my opinion, as Wesley Snipes. Could Wesley Snipes play the Falcon? Could Wesley Snipes play Captain America? Shit, yeah, absolutely. Why? Better actor. In his prime, definitely moved better physically. Oh, you act good and you a martial artist? Get your ass over here and play Captain America. Could Anthony Mackie have played some of the roles that Wesley Snipes played? Can you see Anthony Mackie as Blade? No. No, no the hell you cannot. Can you see Anthony Mackie as now I could see him as Flipper on Jungle Fever because Anthony Mackie can do flawed characters. Flipper was flawed. Could he do Shadow on Mo Better Blues? Those are both Spike Lee movies, by the way. Not like Wes. I don't. Yeah, give me another actor to compare Anthony Mackie to because Wes ain't the one. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even in the same neighborhood. They ain't in the same ballpark. They ain't in the same state. You know what I'm saying? So, what we talking about over here? Boom. And that's all I'm saying, Kamoyo. Mackie ain't no Snipes. Yeah, you could play Nino Brown, but you ain't gonna be Nino Brown. You'll be Nino Brown light or some shit like that. But nah. Didn't Mackie have a bar somewhere in New York? He could pull his Nino Brown qualities from there. But Mackie's not a Nino Brown. He's not. He's not, Grand Madam. I agree. See, Grand Madam, that's why I like you, girl. She said I prefer Sean Connery to his James Bond. Those other actors were too soft. I would I wouldn't go that far, but they did not bring to the role there what Sean Connery brought to the role. And I liked what Sean Connery brought to the role more. I feel like Roger Moore was like super commercialized. You know what I'm saying? Because all through the 70s and 80s, that's what we got. That's what we got. Roger Moore. To the point where, I don't know, I kind of expected Roger Moore to be James Bond. And then when he wasn't James Bond no more, I had like the separation anxiety. And so when Timothy Dalton came along, who was actually a decent James Bond, I couldn't latch on to it because I was still having Roger Moore separation anxiety, if that makes sense. Oh, and Grand Madam says Timothy Dalton could rival Sean Connery, but he disappeared. Yeah, he did Living Daylights, License to Kill, and Biz Ounce. We didn't see him no more than James Bond role. But I actually liked him as Prince Baron in Flash Gordon. Theo said, uh-oh. I don't know what that uh-oh mean. I hope it's a good uh-oh. Craig's Bond was a brute. Yes, he was. I like Wesley Snipes with Sean Connery. I can't remember the movie name. You are thinking of Rising Sun, Grand Madam. That is the movie where they were senpai and kampai. That's some Japanese shit. Look it up. It's just mentor and student. That's basically what it amounts to. I've seen more Snipes movies than Mackie movies. There are two different levels of actors. When it come to them two, Grand Madam, oh, for damn sure. I mean, I'm like, dude, I remember seeing Anthony Mackie and She Hate Me. I liked She Hate Me, but I didn't like She Hate Me because of Anthony Mackie. Does that make sense? And then there was a movie where he was playing like this android, and Damson Idris was in the movie, and he went like kind of haywire, and Damson Idris had to kind of like fight to survive against this killer android or whatever. Hey, I think Damson Idris is a better actor than Anthony Mackie. Now, I'm not saying Anthony Mackie sucks. I'm just saying there's a lot of actors out there, a bunch of actors out there that are better than Anthony Mackie, in my opinion. Mackie's best film is The Hurt Locker. He's a good co-star, but he isn't a star. Thank you, Gray. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That very sentence was in my head. It wasn't those exact letters, but that theme, that message I was getting ready to convey. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Gray, for popping up a couple seconds ahead of my brain and saying that. Yes, I did. I thoroughly enjoyed. What was that? Wasn't that Kathleen Kennedy? Didn't Kathleen Kennedy do The Hurt Locker? See, she can make good movies. They just ain't Star Wars. Mackie's best film is The Hurt Locker. He's a good co-star, but he isn't a star. Wesley Snipes has natural charisma that Mackie doesn't possess. Y'all on it. I have nothing further to teach you. Mackie took the roles even Will Smith passed on. Why is Mackie a bigger actor than Mo? Don't know. Don't know who you're talking about. Why is Mackie bigger than Omari Hardwick? You want me to answer that honestly, Paul? Management. Anthony Mackie has a better agent. Anthony Mackie has a better manager than Omari Hardwick. Because honestly, I think Omari Hardwick is a better actor than Anthony Mackie. That's just me, man. Gray hit it on the head there. Anthony Mackie is a good feature actor. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe Pesci. I think it's like 1-2 movies featuring Joe Pesci that I enjoy. What? My Cousin Vinny? What's something else Joe Pesci was the star of that was good? See what I'm saying? So there are certain actors that are meant to feature, like Wendell Pierce. Wendell Pierce is a good supporting actor. Morgan Freeman is a good supporting actor. What movie you seen Morgan Freeman in that he was the star of? Morgan Freeman thrives in ensemble casts. Go check it. Morgan Freeman thrives in ensemble cast. Morgan Freeman thrives as a narrator. Okay? He's not that cat. Hubba, 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 starring Morgan Freeman. That ain't Morgan Freeman. And some people, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people aren't built to be lead actors. Some people are built to be supporting actors. Some people are built to be villains. Some people are built to just be that cat that's in the movie with everybody else, and the synergy is it's good. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Gray said Connery, Dalton, and Craig are his favorites. Wesley Sam Wilson ain't letting Brock call him boy nor Ross son him. I agree, Theo. I agree. That probably would have made him want to fight. At least me. You calling me boy, and I'm in my 30s at least. You still calling me boy? We about to have words. I don't give a damn if you the president. Yeah, She Hate Me is a good movie. Again, not because of Anthony Mackie. Could Omari? Hell yeah, Omari Hardwick could play Sam Wilson. He looks more the part. Live and Let Die and Golden Eye are in my top 10 Bond films. You Only Live Twice from Sean Connery is in my top 10. That and From Russia with Love. I think Omari is also low-key blackballed in Hollywood because of that Starz contract issue. John Bernthal. What about John Bernthal? I think John Bernthal is the best Punisher ever. he plays Punisher, at least in that Netflix series. He was a great Punisher. Say you always confuse him with Frank Grillo. John Bernthal? Now, John Bernthal, you know what? I can see that. Because in every role they play, they both seem like the same character in every role they play. John Bernthal in The Accountant was just like John Bernthal on The Walking Dead, was just like John Bernthal in The Punisher. John Bernthal is like Ice Cube. I'm the same person in every damn movie. Same thing with Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo on Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone, and he playing a mafia boss. He's just Rock Rumlow as a mafia boss. And Frank Grillo does a lot of B movies. You know what I mean? Frank Grillo, go back and look up Frank Grillo on IMDb. My man got a gang. I say a gang of B movies he's been in. So he gets work like that. How do you go from being in a Marvel movie to just being professional B movie actor? Because like between like 2015 and now, look up Frank Grillo. My man, he eating. You know what I'm saying? Frank Grillo is eating. He is not missing no meals with all of the movies he cranking out. You know what I mean? Let me get this out the way so we can talk. Now, here's where I'm at with it, y'all. I don't want to throw salt on the man. I just want the man, and I can't believe I'm saying this, no pun intended. I want the man to know his role. And what that means, we know what that means. Don't take every role that your agent bring to you. Don't take every role. You ain't Samuel L. Jackson. You can't do that. You ain't that caliber of actor. At least not from what I see. So, yeah, don't do them all. Don't do them all. I absolutely despised him in Altered Carbon. That second season of Altered Carbon, that was like watching grass grow. You know what I mean? It just help me, Jesus, help me, Lord, help me. Let me go host CD folks home. Let me go. My bad. Women's come home loud, noisy. Cheadle. Now, Cheadle, I can see in more lead roles. Don Cheadle was great in Hotel Rwanda. But the memorable roles, he was supporting another actor. Devil in a Blue Dress. See, Don Cheadle knows his role. That works. That works for me. When they know they role, that that makes it so much easier. You know what I mean? You don't got to be that cat, man. You don't got to be in the front, just because my man Chadwick Boseman was up front and he was getting roles like that, and you was hating, or don't hate. Anthony Mackie isn't Chadwick Boseman. So if you don't do some stuff that Chadwick Boseman did, it doesn't mean you're less of an actor. It just means you what I think somebody said in here, different kind of actor. There's two different types of actor. You that other type. You're not leading actor material. And there's nothing wrong with not being lead actor material. You can be in an ensemble cast, or you can be an also ran or also featured. You know what I'm saying? If being in the MCU gives Anthony Mackie the springboard he needs to become a leading actor, I'm all for that. But if it doesn't, know your role. Know your role. Know your role. Don always delivers. Hell, he can outperform the leading actor if they don't bring it. Yeah. I was I was rooting for Mouse in Devil in a Blue Dress. I wanted to see more Mouse. And when Mouse was on the screen, he absolutely had it. You know what I mean? Anytime Mouse was on the screen in Devil in a Blue Dress, you was, what Mouse gonna do? What Mouse gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because we knew he was a complex character when he was sitting in there in old boy's house getting drunk and had that gun. You know what I mean? And was drunk and stuff. And ooh, his mouse gonna shoot somebody in here? Is what you're sitting around thinking. So yeah. Could Don Cheadle play Nino Brown? I wouldn't believe him as Nino Brown. Don Cheadle probably could, but he don't have a physical presence. He don't. He don't. He just don't. Yes, he did. He murked it as Mouse. I love that role. That is like one of my all-time favorite roles of Don Cheadle's as Mouse. I liked him in that Angela Winbush video too. The real thing. Okay. Rocket. Yeah. I think Rocket is a role you appreciate after the fact, if that makes sense. Because when I was watching Colors and I saw Don Cheadle as Rocket, he didn't strike me as that cat. Because they kept talking about it. Oh, Rocket gonna do this. Oh, Rocket gonna do this. Oh, Rocket gonna do that. Oh, hey, did you hear what Rocket said? Oh man, they looking for Rocket. Oh, that's Rocket's man. That's all you was hearing about. And then when you finally got 360 degrees of Rocket, I'm like, I've been to LA before. I've seen Crips up close and personal. I got family members that's Crips. A little cat like Rocket is leading the game. When we talk about mugs like Monster. You a little dude? I mean, not to say a little dude couldn't, but everybody I seen was like OGs, double OGs, and triple OGs. Them cats was rocked up. You know what I'm saying? Had that upper body that looked like Thor and was missing the hell out of leg day. You know what I mean? Just them type of cats. So that was the only thing for me with him. Other than that, yeah, Don Cheadle's a great actor. What was the movie where Don played a Muslim undercover FBI agent? I think that was called Traitor. Paul Martin. I think that movie was called Traitor. I think. Maybe not. But look here, y'all. Y'all got some Q&A for me. Y'all got some things on your mind. You got some stuff you're thinking about. Got some stuff you want to be thinking about. Got some stuff you shouldn't be thinking about, but you're thinking about it anyway, and you got to get it off your chest. What is it? What is it, y'all? Talk to me. Tell me what's on your mind, and we can work this thing out together. Q&A. Anything about comics? Anything about movies? Anything comic movie related? Anything that ain't comic movie related, and it's on your mind. Talk to a brother. Tell me how you're feeling, because this, Q&A. All right. Yeah, this is random. This is random question time, y'all. Let's see. Are you going to see Sinners this weekend? Yes. Yes, I am. And I hear good things about it. I feel like long as Ryan Coogler stay away from the Black Panther franchise, fine with me. But dude, I'm not going to see no Black Panther shit you do. Period, point blank. But yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good shit about Sinners. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. What position for Chiefs in first round next Thursday? O-line or D-line? They need depth. They need depth at the left tackle position. And Chris Jones needs some help on the line. So that should be their primary need. Because everything else they can bargain for. Who will I be building my Star Panther off of? I have seen images of the Star Panther like next to other characters, and he's not a gigantic, you know what I mean? He's not like Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Let me pull that image up. Boom, right here. Here you go. Okay. If you look at this image right here on the left side behind that ant, that's Star Panther. I mean, does he look super buff compared to them people he's standing around? I mean, and you look at that that version of Thor there, much bigger than him. So he's looking like he might be probably the same build as T'Challa himself. So I am thinking use a Black Panther and just get a cape. I think that will be pretty easy to do. Probably that Black Panther with like, yeah, the purplish hue. You know what I mean? With the purple vibranium kind of glow on it. I will probably use one of those Black Panthers because I got a couple of them. So yeah, I just use one of those. Pop that head off. Put that T'Challa head on there. Give him a cape. Ding ding. Star Panther's done. Man, you were right. One of the twins doesn't make it. Spoiler, no spoiler. No. No, not shocked at all. Grace A going to see Sinners for one reason and one reason only. Jamie Lawson. She looks and sounds like Aurora Monroe to me. Okay. We shall see. We shall see. I'm glad you digging what a brother's shoveling. Could justice work with a repaint? For who? Who would we be using justice for? For Star Panther? Nah, I feel like I'd be better off just copping a cape and putting the cape on him. And yeah, that Black Panther's gonna work. Trust me. You'll see after it's done. It's gonna work. Interesting question, Paul Martin. If they were coming to Anchorage, would you see the Queen? Hell yeah! Shaka Khan? Just for Shaka Khan. Yeah. Yes, I would go see the Queen's tour if it came to Anchorage. Absolutely. Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, and Stephanie Mills. Stephanie Mills, I've been listening to Stephanie Mills since she was on Broadway doing The Wiz at 13. That's how far back me and Stephanie go. Gladys Knight, period. Who want to see Gladys? Come on now. Who don't want to see them? Who don't want to see them? If you don't want to go see them, then you're not black. Ain't that what Joe Biden said? If you don't go see the Queen's tour, then you ain't black. Kamayo said, my wife doesn't want to see Sinners. Last vampire horror movie she saw was From Dusk Till Dawn. Was she scared, Kamaya? She's scared to go see it? Or she just ain't got no desire to see it? Y'all had questions, boy. Y'all was not playing. Oh, goodness. I like that Q&A is spirited. Y'all were spirited tonight. This whole live was spirited. Yeah, already. Like I said, about a week or two. I she's scary. Stephanie Mills started a fight between my parents. When I saw her album cover, I understood why. Which album cover? Kamaya. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go find it and see what your parents were fighting over. If it's the one I think it is. Oh, it might be this one. Hey, Gray. Was it here? Let me let me pull it up. Was it this right here? Because I remember the video of this. Was it this one right here, Gray? It is that the one that your parents was fighting about? It wasn't that one, because I was looking at Stephanie Mills covers, and that's about the most provocative looking cover she's got. She got one with her leg up in the air on the back of an album. But oh well. What you gonna do with my loving? Yeah. Uh-huh. I don't know. That might be a fight too. I think I'd be mad at this one too. Here, y'all. Why we just out here? Why we just out here looking at Stephanie Mills pictures? I don't know why. We need to be looking at Shaka Khan pictures. Did this one have her upset? What was it? That one? Stephanie. Problem. So I guess my thought would be, does she got her leg up like that on her own? Or is the heel of her shoe propped on something? Because if you could just hold your leg up like a Shaolin monk like that without no kind of support whatsoever, then yeah, I could see why your mama was mad. I could see why. At least you don't like scary movies either. Well, it depends. Me and Nathan to go see scary movies, but as long as they ain't demonic. You know what I mean? When you got that covenant shit and you know, stuff where it's just like people possessed and demons, and I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that either. So yeah, I'm scary of those, but for good reason. You ain't supposed to let nothing like that get down in your spirit. You know what I mean? But I don't want to go in church mode. Look here, y'all. We done had a good Thursday, man. But we ain't done for the week. Me and Theo gonna be coming at you tomorrow. Same live time, same live channel for some Friday vibing. I know I said we was gonna have a guest this Friday, but He can't make it this week, but he gonna be available next week. I got on the phone with Prof, and yeah, so we gonna have some more Prof T next week. So y'all mark your calendars for that. My friend and classmate of the group Low Key will be pulling up next week to chill with me and brother Theo, because we got some things we want to talk about. Prof T got a little bit of nerd in him, so we're gonna be able to nerd out on certain nerd things. I know he's gonna be, he likes anime, so we probably need to bone up on our anime. I just let y'all know for personal reference, I have been, like I said, I got my Crunchyroll again, so I've been pulling up different animes and checking them out, and Netflix has got some nice anime too. I just got done watching Lazarus on Max, and Lazarus takes place in the same universe as Cowboy Bebop. It's even got that same kind of Cowboy Bebop kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? When the action's going on, there's some jazz music playing in the background. So it's very reminiscent of Cowboy Bebop. Also, too, I have been watching My Hero Academia Vigilantes. That's a different story. It's actually a prequel. It takes place, if you're into My Hero Academia, it takes place during the time when All Might had All for One still. We see unlicensed heroes. See what I'm saying? Every superhero didn't go to no academy and get a license and study under other superheroes to become a superhero. Some people just went out on the street and started punching the shit out of people and said, I'm a superhero. So I've been rocking with that one. And then there's this one, let me get the name right. The name of it is The Beginning After the End. And basically it's like this powerful king, and he's like a wizard, and well, I don't think he's a wizard, but he's a really powerful king and warrior, and he dies and he's reborn as a baby, but he remembers everything about his previous life. So this little baby trying to learn how to sword fight while he's pooping in his pants. And his parents are like magic users. And you can use magic two ways. You can use magic to conjure, or you can use magic to augment. His mother is a conjurer, which means, she uses outer chi or outer mana for effects, manipulating things. Whereas augmenters focus the chi into a part of their body so they can strike or defend against something. So those are the two different types of magic. And the little kid, he's hilarious because he can't talk, but he thinks these thoughts and like, why are they acting that way? It seems strange, So it's different. It's not the anime that you normally expect. But I'm gonna take all of these comments. I'm gonna get these last comments, and then we're gonna bounce up out of here. Ashanti will have a week of bad dreams, so I tend to go with buddies. Got it. Might have been her with a pink top on. Let me check that out. I ain't seen nothing provocative. I get that. That ain't nothing to fight about, though. Not that cover. I wouldn't be fighting nobody over that cover. And I certainly wouldn't expect nobody to be fighting over that cover. But yeah, I give it to y'all real quick. Y'all got me working tonight. Got me working day and night. I'm so tired now. Okay, let's see what it said. She was a dancer prior to singing. Who was a dancer prior to singing? If you talk about Stephanie Mills, bruh, Stephanie Mills started singing when she was 13. She was on the Broadway version of The Wiz at 13. So I don't think Stephanie was a dancer before she was a singer. Okie doke. Appreciate it. Got to check out Lazarus. Just start watching Ayanu. I'm going to have to tune into that too. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that on the list right now so I can have it. Because I also have on my list To Be a Hero X. I hear good things about that too. So, you know what? When I'm watching enough anime, when I get to the point where I'm watching enough anime, I'll start doing reviews and pulling images and stuff so I can get y'all into the mix of it. But look here, y'all. Thank y'all so very, very, very much. Rock with me, Nation. Make this thing go. So that was random. I'm sorry. Rock with me, Nation. Make this thing go. And I appreciate y'all pulling up every time y'all do pull up. Like I said, y'all make sure y'all here tomorrow evening. We're gonna be vibing, and it's always a hit. Always a hit. Look at y'all. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.